Hey guys, today I thought I would share just this little idea about how I get to sleep every night. This is gonna sound a little bit bizarre, but I know lots of you out there are like me. And when your head hits the pillow, you think you're tired, and then everything just ramps up in your head and your thoughts just start spinning. You start thinking about the next day and what you've got to do for work the next day, all the cool things you could do the next day. Like your brain literally just fires up all of its engines and gets going. Also, there's times when I wake up at 3 in the morning because I obviously have to pee one time every night, which I'll create another video about how I hydrate at night. But I drink a full shaker bottle of water before bed. And then after I pee, I drink another shaker bottle of water. I just like to stay very hydrated. But that's not the point. When I go back to bed after going to the bathroom, sometimes I'll just lay there and my brain just turns on. And again, it's literally like this, like the inner workings of the RAM and the memory and the hard drives in my brain are just like, hey, we're gonna spin up and start talking really loudly about all the really cool things that we're gonna do tomorrow and then the next day and the next day. And then don't forget to do this and don't forget to do that, don't forget to do this. It's exhausting. So I know some of you out there have that same experience. And I'm not the kind of guy that can just go to bed at 11 o'clock at night, get up at 3:30 and just say, well, I guess I'm up. So here is my secret trick to getting to sleep. And then if I have a hard time waking up at night, then getting back to sleep at night. This is my trick. And I'll give you my backup strategy as well. So I developed this strategy for me quite a few years ago. Before AirPods were out, actually. I actually would use wired, whatever we used to plug into our iPhones back in the day when you had attached wires to your ear. Just simple AirPods. So what I do is when I get ready for bed, I climb in bed and I know I'm gonna lay on this side or I'm gonna lay on this side. I'm actually gonna put an AirPod in my ear on the side that is not on the pillow. And I'm gonna listen to something, and you're gonna be surprised at what I listen to. I don't listen to music, I don't listen to relaxing things. That just is too calm for my brain. My brain is still gonna be firing up on all cylinders. So I listen to a show. I listen to something like The Office, or even Seinfeld, but the laugh track gets to be a little bit too much on Seinfeld. Really, it's Arrested Development or The Office. I've watched those shows dozens of times, or I've listened through them dozens of times over the years now. I know every episode inside and out. There's literally nothing new. Now, there are times when I'll actually chuckle because something's kind of funny, or it just catches me off guard as I'm going to sleep, and I think that's fine. But the reason I listen to a show that I've listened to 100 times over is that my brain is slightly entertained. So I've got this little bit of focal point here, but it's not overly stimulated. I'm not listening to a new episode of I don't know, the Squid Game or something like that. Would never do that. I'm listening to something really familiar. And what it does is it really calms my brain down. And I never finish an episode when I'm going to sleep at 11 o'clock at night. And I rarely finish an episode when it's at 3:30 in the morning. Now, here's the one thing that I do. I don't want this playing in my ear all night. That's certainly not what I want. And in a perfect world, I wouldn't need this at all. We'll just say that out there. In a perfect world, I don't do this. But I don't live in a perfect world. I live in a world where my brain just goes berserk sometimes. So I will go into my phone, which I'm recording this video with, otherwise I would show you. But when you can set a timer on your phone, when you're cooking on the grill and you set a timer for 8 minutes to remember to flip the chicken, you can set a timer on your phone, and instead of selecting one of the sounds, at the very bottom it says stop playing. So you select stop playing. And I do that for 35 minutes. I set it for 35 minutes ahead. And the reason I do that, so a typical show like Arrested Development is probably 22, 23 minutes. And I know myself well enough that as I'm falling asleep, if I feel like I'm getting close to the end of an episode, then I know that I'm getting close to the time when the phone's gonna turn off, and then I'm just gonna start thinking about that. But 35 minutes is like an episode and a half. So at an episode and a half, it automatically just plays the next episode. It's going to stop, and I'm gonna be asleep. I've rarely had it stop while I'm awake. So it just removes all that anxiety and I get to sleep. In the middle of the night, get up and pee. If I even have that feeling, that sense that I'm gonna have a hard time getting back to sleep, sometimes I don't feel that and I just lay down and I'm out. Other times I'm like, my brain is going again. Flip over, maybe swap out AirPods, put one in my ear and start a show, set the timer, and I'm out. Wake up in the morning, there's an AirPod in my ear or it's somewhere in my bed, and that's that. Now, that is my way of doing it. I don't expect everyone to think that's a great idea, but if you're having a hard time getting to sleep, this has worked better for me than like melatonin or L-tryptophan or CBD, anything like that. This one little AirPod in my ear helps me get to sleep. Now, if none of that is available and I can't do that, here's my backup trick. The backup trick for me is to count down from 10,000. Not count down from 100, that's too easy. I can think about other things while I'm counting down from 100, but if I count down from 10,000, it requires me to focus on the number. So 9,999, 9,998, 9,997, 9,996, that helps my brain focus on one thing in order to get to sleep. Best practices would be to be able to naturally fall asleep and just be patient with that. And I'm just not that guy. When I get to bed, I want to go to sleep. In a perfect world, I'd love to think about something and have my subconscious work on that overnight. Like, how do I reach more people in my business to help them with nutrition? Or how do I help more people with fitness? How do I help dad bods get healthy? Plug that into my brain and let my subconscious chew on that all night. That is really cool. And there's some books about that and podcasts, really cute stuff. But if I can't get to sleep, it's not good. Sleep is that important to me. I want to make sure that I get the max amount of sleep, actual sleep, not laying there thinking about sleeping. That's my trick. The little AirPod in my ear, episodes of Arrested Development or The Office, and sometimes Seinfeld. That helps me get to sleep every single time. I've got a big competition tomorrow, or at the CrossFit Games this last year. Of course I had that in my ear every single night. In fact, it was in my ear when the tornado alarms went off one of the nights at the CrossFit Games, which was spooky, but literally tornado alarm goes off, it's a tornado warning. That's a lot of excitement just before the third day of competition. And I check outside, tornado sirens go off, then they stop. Okay, time to go back to sleep, pop an AirPod in my ear, start a show, set the timer. I'm out. Slept like a baby. All right, guys, that is a wrap for the day. If you like this content, or if you like Arrested Development, or if you like The Office, you should click the like and subscribe button regardless, so that you can be notified when I publish new videos like this. Leave some comments. Let me know if you have a favorite show that you would like to listen to in your ear as you're trying to get to sleep. And I'll see you next time.